The intended goal of this video is to show how to generate reports to assist you in daily classroom activities. PowerTeacher Pro offers a selection of reports. They have reports that can assist you with your daily classroom activities, assess student performance. You can generate reports for all or specific students. The types of reports that we'll look at are the individual student report, the multifunction assignment report, the score sheet report, and the student roster. The first report we'll look at is the individual student report. Select Reports from the Charms menu and choose Individual Student Report. This is a great report that lists the summary of class activity per student. You can use this report to complete progress reports, missing and late assignments, grades, assignment scores, a summary of student work, and it's also a good report for parent-teacher conferencing. On the Criteria tab, enter a report title in the field provided. You may just want to put a date. Open the Select Classes menu and choose the class or classes to include on the report. You can include one or more. In the Sort Options section, open the Layout menu and choose how you want to sort information on the report. Open the Student menu and choose how you want the students sorted on the report. The Gradebook Preference option defaults to the selection you made on the Display Settings page. Once you've made all of those choices, go to the Date Range field, choose a particular term, all terms, or you can choose a manual date where you choose the date from the calendar. In the Data section, choose how you want to filter assignments. Choose how you want to filter scores, if you want to filter them. If you want to filter categories, you may just want to do a report on assessments. Or you can filter for any particular grade or a grade range. Once you've completed your criteria, go to the Students tab. By default, it's going to be set to run for all students. If you want to run for just a group or a couple of students, go to Add, Remove Students, uncheck all of them, and then check the ones you want to run the report for. On the Format tab, you can choose Landscape or Portrait. The output for this particular report is PDF. You can choose to have a page break between students. If you choose Exclude Row Shading, that is going to save you some ink. You can choose to have a top note and or a bottom note and or a signature line, and you can make those notes at the top and bottom bold. Once you have made all of your selections to set your report up, you just simply run Report. And then you would have to save it and open it. Go back to your Reports charm and choose Multifunction Report. You have the same criteria to set up on your Criteria tab. Choose your classes. Choose how you want your students sorted, how you want your assignments sorted, You can choose to show percentages and or comments. Choose a term or assign a manual date range. Filter assignments. Filter assignment scores. And filter assignment categories. Again, you can choose all students or add and select just particular students. Your format choices, landscape or portrait. Output is only PDF for this report. You can choose to have a page break between classes. Again, if you exclude row shading, that's going to save some ink on your printer. You can have a top and or bottom note, and you can bold it. There is no signature line option on this report. Now let's look at the score sheet report. It's going to be set up just like the others. Report title, description cannot be altered. You're going to select your classes. You're going to select your students, how you want to sort your students, how you want to sort your grade book. If you want the grade book preference, you can choose to include what you want to include, add, remove students. Format, again, landscape or portrait. This one can be printed in Excel format. Row shading option, top note, bottom note. This one does have a signature line. And the last report is the student roster report. This is very much, or is just like the student roster report that was in the old grade book. It could be handy for a lot of things. On the criteria tab, choose, give it a name. This would be a good report to use if you're preparing for a field trip. Choose the class or classes, how you want to sort them. And then you choose what columns you want to add. You see those choices that are there. You can use any of those and they will populate the column with that name, with that title. So you choose what you want, and then you can go back and add blank columns, or you could do one with all blank columns, or columns where you give it a name. So you can give each of those columns a title. Maybe you want to include whether or not they've turned in their form, if they have any medication or special needs. This is also a good report to just print with blank columns and have on hand for you to walk around your classroom and jot down any notes that you may want to make about a student as you're teaching a lesson and they're working independently or in groups. Thank you for viewing PowerTeacher Pro Reports.